5 levels of UFC Jiu-Jitsu. Level 1. Tai Tuivasa. Tai is a pure striker. His entire game is built on power and knockouts. He has absolutely zero submission threat. It's pretty funny, he's never even attempted a submission. When Tai gets taken down, he panics, shells up, turtles, and then tries to get back to his feet with almost zero skill. And as for the clinch, well, he's getting bullied by Derek Lewis. This level of jiu-jitsu is only seen in the older era of the UFC or heavyweights. This is because in the older era of the UFC, jiu-jitsu wasn't as popular and wasn't in every gym. And for heavyweights, there's a lower skill gap on the ground, in general. For example, Derek Lewis's ability to just stand up. He couldn't get away with bad technique like this in lightweight, but because of the size and sheer power, it allows him to do it. In short, a fighter at level 1 in jiu-jitsu has no ground game, no top game, or even clinch game. Their whole game plan when they go to the ground is to literally just survive. Level 2. Alex Pereira. Alex has basic UFC Jiu-Jitsu. He can pull guard, do get-ups from the fence, and even attempt submissions every now and then. But against high-level competition, Alex's Jiu-Jitsu is ineffective. Alex can't chain moves, he can't trap people, and he's most likely not going to catch you if you're an elite fighter. What saves Alex from getting submitted is his physicality and low-risk grappling. You're not going to see Alex rush into a crazy scramble or shoot an overly aggressive double leg. He keeps it safe because he knows where his game plan is and what he wants to do in the fight, and that's not on the ground. Level 2 fighters have basic functional jiu-jitsu. They understand core positions and escapes, but it's there simply to survive the higher level elite grapplers. Level 2 jiu-jitsu fighters are forced into being defensive most of the time. That's because if they went on the attack, their holes in their game would become very apparent and they'd get submitted and lose the fight like we've seen multiple times. Level 3. Brian Ortega. Level 3 is where fighters start becoming scary and dangerous on the ground. To an average person, this jiu-jitsu is absolutely 100% elite. From jumping dangerous gillies against Volk to submitting Yair Rodriguez via head and arm triangle. From literally anywhere on the ground, Ortega has a chance to finish you, and it's always needed to be looked at with caution from the other fighter's perspective. At this point, opposing fighters need to game plan for that level 3 fighter's jiu-jitsu. They need to be prepared to be defensively sound from literally anywhere on the ground. From top, bottom scrambles, or even clinches, Ortega is always a threat. Tying second most for UFC submissions in the featherweight division ever, he stacked his resume with 4 UFC submissions. Level 3 fighters don't just understand jiu-jitsu, it's part of their main game plan. But against genetic anomalies and high-level grapplers, it's way harder for them to get submissions. For example, Volkanovski. Level 3 is where mistakes start getting punished. These fighters might not drown you with pressure an entire round, but give them one opening, one scramble, a second of hesitation, and they certainly have the skill to end the fight. Level 4. Islam Makhachev. This is where jiu-jitsu stops being opportunistic and starts being inevitable. Islam doesn't wait for mistakes, he forces mistakes to happen. With suffocating pressure and complete positional advantage, 90% of fighters in the lightweight division and welterweight division have literally no chance. Once he takes you down, you're not just on your back, you're stuck. He passes guard, pins you, controls your hips, isolates your arms, and slowly removes any chance of escaping until he gets a submission. What makes Islam different from lower tiers is his submissions aren't based on luck or sudden openings. You're not scrambling freely against Islam, you're surviving. With 8 subs in the UFC, coming from Kimura, Darce, rear naked, and head and arm triangle, Islam Makhachev has a very big jiu-jitsu bag for his submissions. And to top things off, he's never been submitted. The only time he's been beat is when he got knocked out early in his career. Level 4 jiu-jitsu threats are extremely rare to come by in the UFC. Besides Islam, maybe only 2 to 3 fighters have ever been at this level. I'd say Damian Maia for sure, and after that, it's really up to interpretation on what you value. Charles's jiu-jitsu game is historic. 17 wins, let alone submissions in the UFC would be a great record to have in general. Most high-level grapplers need control first. Normally they pass guard, settle in, and then apply the pressure. For Charles, he can finish you anywhere the fight goes. Off his back, in scrambles, while he's hurt, while standing, when he's losing, it doesn't matter. He always has a chance to get the submission. And he's not just catching people with one move he really likes. He submitted people with almost every submission you can do, from calf slicers to arm triangles to rear naked chokes to anacondas to darces, you name it, he submitted them with it. Essentially, there's no safe position against Charles. You can always get caught from every position in jiu-jitsu. He is dangerous. Charles' jiu-jitsu is ruthless. He's constantly on the attack, hunting and chaining moves. Dustin drops him, follows him down, and immediately realizes he shouldn't be there. Charles' jiu-jitsu is so good that other fighters constantly avoid it, even when close to finishing him in a scenario where they're winning. Dubronx is in this tier alone. There's no one else with him at level 5. Based off strictly jiu-jitsu, no one is as dangerous in every component of the game like Charles is. His guard is literally so good it became one of his main offensive weapons. And at 36 years old, he's still subbing people within the top 10 division of lightweight, with his most recent win being over Mateus Gamrot. Charles is a fan favorite, and you can tell why. He makes jiu-jitsu look just as entertaining as striking. He's completely weaponized the art of jiu-jitsu and used it as his main weapon in the UFC. And no one's complaining. It's completely awesome and shows the full capability of what the art can bring to the sport.